Hello, my friends. Erez Avramov here. It's Sunday. I'm probably posting this later on, but decided to go for a little hike and take you with me. This is my backyard again. I live close to the woods here, and there are some beautiful trails. And it is the beginning of spring. The snow has melted, and it just makes hiking a lot easier and funner. So I'm out here. And today I want to share with you something that took me quite a while to recognize and to learn that there's a way to work with that issue. And these are the demons that show up. And these demons are not demons from stories or horror movies or anywhere else. These are demons that have been created by our own mind. And they have been there probably most of our lives because they have been permanent residents that were invited by being exposed to certain cultures, certain upbringing through our parents, siblings, family members, teachers, mentors, events that we have experienced. You know, most of us on this amputee path, the way we ended up here has created a huge trauma, probably PTSD issues we have to deal with as well, mental, physical. Those challenges are real. They're there. And I wish I could have said that they just go away and disappear and we move on into this different life and everything is great. What I found, at least from my experience, and you know, these videos are based on my own experience, so you don't have to agree with them, you don't have to accept them. It's just where I am with it and things that I've realized along the way that helped me. What I realized was that the faster I can identify that my thoughts have been triggered by one of these demons, and those thoughts could be because it's just a difficult day, right? I don't know, I plan to do certain days, certain activities today for work, for my kids, for myself, maybe a workout. And for me, I'm a below knee amputee, and maybe my leg just doesn't have a good day, right? And it affects everything. And then it's painful, and I think to myself, oh my God, now I need to change my plans. Now I need to do certain things differently. Maybe I need to cancel certain things. Maybe I need to reschedule things. And that is the how-to part of it. But then the demon kicks into high gear, and it become those thoughts, right, around, oh my God, so here it is again. I can't do things. I'm limited. I'm challenged. This is not going away. You get a little bit more depressed because of that. And initially you don't notice it. That's the scary part. And it starts to escalate, right? Then you try and do something, but your mind has already been triggered by what has happened earlier during the day. And you're trying to do a certain task, maybe at work, or maybe you have a bit of a communication challenge at home or with colleagues, and you snap, right? And you don't understand initially what just happened. You just think it's them, they did something, or anything else that has triggered that. But what I have learned over time is that those little things that happen to us during the day have an accumulative effect. And after a while, they explode, right? Because if we don't notice them and we don't understand that they will have to come out one way or another. You know, it's like a pressure cooker, right? There's a buildup of certain events, and then they will just explode. I have learned over the years to, first of all, acknowledge that this is a process. And when I start to see small things that don't work during the day, I know that there is a possibility that things will escalate, and they will escalate first with me, of how I talk to myself and how I behave, and then they will be reflected on others, maybe my spouse, maybe my children, maybe my colleagues, maybe something that I'm trying to do and I just can't nail it and I'm getting really agitated and angry about it. So all those things add up. So what I have learned along the path of this crazy amputee journey is to develop techniques and tools that allow me to identify them earlier. And then as soon as I'm able to identify them, I open my toolbox and I can pull out a certain tool and say, okay, this will probably help me right now. Some of the tools that I use, and I'll continue to share them, and I share much more in different videos that I do. Some of them could be meditation, could be breathing exercises, could be journaling, could be going out for a hike, could be to just drop everything and just go have a cup of coffee and just chill for 10-15 minutes and say, I'm not going to think about it, and come back afresh to that situation to assess it again. But the reality is that these triggers are there. I haven't met someone who was able to completely eliminate them. I don't know, maybe an enlightened yogi somewhere out in the woods have managed to do that. But for mere mortals, I haven't met one like that. There are triggers that have been embedded in our DNA for ages, and they're still there. And the big challenge is always to try and figure out a way how to work with them when they arise. So I hope that today's video just gives you a little bit more perspective about these little demons. And if you can start to see when they show up, maybe, like I suggested in my last video, maybe you get out, pull out your journal and write a little bit. What's going on? What's going on in your head? What kind of thoughts are running through it? And how does that being reflected on your day, on your mood, on your perspective of what's going on? And try it. I hope it will help. In future videos, I'll dive into a little bit more detail on that. And as always, if you have specific questions, if you have any comments, please share them under this video, and I'll be happy to apply the answers and my experience if I can. Thanks.